Okay, first thing we're going to do is get this axle nut off here. Got a cotter pin. This axle nut is a 30 millimeter. Next, we're going to take the brake caliper off. So the brake caliper has two bolts here and down here. Those are both 15 millimeter. I usually pull the brake caliper off and just gently place it over here. Being careful not to pull too hard on the hose and stress the hose. Next, we're going to pull off the two bolts. They're two nuts. These two nuts, there and there. These are both 18 millimeter. You'll likely have to hold them from the other side. The bolt head from the other side. Next, we're going to remove this bolt here off the carrier, off the hub. That's an 18 millimeter bolt, but the nut on the inside of the hub is a 19 millimeter that you'll need to hold. Okay, now that we have all those bolts loose, once we pull them out, okay, now the carrier or the hub will come off. Next, we'll take the axle off. Hey everybody, we're on a mission to hit 2,000 followers by the end of December. If you found any value in any of the videos that I bring to you, can you do me a favor and just subscribe? It would help us out a great deal in bringing you more content. So please help me out in hitting those 2,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching. And we'll get the CV boot replaced. Now that the hub's completely off, I use a small jack to jack the arm up a little bit. That enables the arm or the axle to not have so much of a CV angle, and the axle's free in the arm, and you should be able to just pull it straight out of the transmission. And it pulls out a couple of times. Get these clamps off. Screwdriver under them, pry them off. There's one, next one. Okay, remember this is transmission side. All right, this isn't the one that was leaking, but we're gonna replace it also. May as well, because we're gonna have everything apart. I don't wanna come back and have to replace it. Okay, I've got the axle being held in a vise. And just need to hit these, so you have some flat sides of the star right here, and you hit them with the drift. Remember, hit the flat side, flat part of the CV star, so you don't damage the CV star. There it goes. Be patient with them so you don't damage your CVs. And there it goes. By hitting the flat spots of the star. Again, we did no damage to the star. Our clip has some damage from our splines from coming out, and we'll replace that again. Caliper, you got all kinds of comments about this, but for me, the best thing for cleaning CV grease is diesel. And I know I'm probably getting a bunch of people are gonna say diesel's bad for some reason or another, but diesel to me cuts CV grease better than anything. So what I do is I'm gonna take these guys and I'm gonna take and throw them in a bucket of diesel, and let them soak for a little while, and get all of the CV grease out of them, blow them dry. I'm gonna pull this this O-ring out. This C-clip looks really good. This C-clip, because it's the tranny side, the transmission side, it looks really good. I don't think it's going to be an issue. The ones on the axle, they take a beating when you go to take these guys off. So I'm going to replace those, and we'll get them all cleaned up, and I'll show you guys how to put it all back together. Easiest way that I have found to pull these clips off is with a little hook. Just get it underneath. Push on it with one side, and then get in it with the high side, the other side, and you just usually pull it up and over. And then you can kind of work your way around. Screwdriver under it. Work your way up around it. Okay, so the boot kit we're using today, it's the stock boot kit from Can-Am. It's part number, I don't know if you can see that, 715900450. The reason that we're using the stock boot kit, so the stock boot kit comes with the boot, the stock straps, front and back. There also comes with the axle clip. Oh, you see the axle clip. And then comes the CV grease. So I found the easiest way to do these kits is put your boot on first before you do your axle clip, because then it's not fighting over your axle clip. You usually go over the groove for your axle clip pretty easily. The axle end clip is a little difficult to get on, so I usually use a pair of needle nose pliers. You gotta get one side on in the groove. I don't know if you can see that. Get one side in the groove, get the other side on the outside of the axle like that, and then pull it to one of the splines and slide it on. It takes a little work. Okay, once you get it kind of worked over, then you can work it into the slot. Okay, we're gonna chuck this up in the vise. I like to put CV grease inside the CV before putting it on the axle as much as I can. I think it helps squeeze the CV grease into the CV when you're putting the axle on. So we're just gonna put as much in there as we can. Okay, we're gonna line up our splines, make sure they're lined up really good, and we're gonna hit it with a mallet. There it goes. Okay, now I've flipped over the CV in my vise, and I'm just gonna finish filling up the CV with grease. This is the grease that comes with it. Kind of push it down in here into the CV the best we can. Right, wipe off the excess off the outside here. Try to get it as clean as possible. Now we're gonna pull our boot down. There we go. Repeat the other side, and then we'll put the clamps on. Okay, now we're gonna put our clamps on. Throw that guy on here. I'm gonna show you a trick as far as these guys go. You do not need a special tool. A lot of people use a special tool on those. Same thing with these guys. Throw these guys up here. Do not need a special tool. Okay, these are what are called tile nippers. They're for cutting off tiny bits of tile. You can get them at Home Depot. Again, we're using the tile nippers. Find them at Home Depot, Lowe's, all the hardware stores. And again, we're trying to get this guy to clip down into here. So we're gonna take this part of the tool, put it up here, this part of the tool, put it down here. Okay. So these clamps are a little bit bigger. You gotta pull these guys a long ways apart to get them to fit in there. Again, we're getting on the edge of the nipper so we're not damaging the boot, making sure the clamp is in the groove and not hanging out of the boot anywhere. I've got the arm of the clamp on the table here to give me leverage, and then I'm just gonna pull down until it clips. Here it goes. Okay. And remember to put the side that has the short side, and the side that has the O-ring on it is the side that goes into the transmission. So we're threading it through the arm, into the transmission, line that CV up so it's parallel with the transmission, right? You can get it as parallel as you possibly can. Get the splines lined up, and it's going to take a little bit of force to push it into the transmission until it clicks. There it goes. Okay, it's in, it's ready for the hub. Okay, we're ready to put the hub back on. Obviously just reverse order of it coming off. Hey, remember when you're putting your hub back on, that these flat washers go on both sides of your center pivot arm, right? So there goes on in between your pivot arm and your hub, and then the back side before your nut goes on. Okay, so that's where your flat washers go. Okay, Can-Am suggests using new Locknuts on these. These are 77 foot-pounds. I'll show you the sheet, torque sheet on all of these bolts, but 77 foot-pounds for all three of these, being torqued from this side. Slip back on. We want to clean this brake rotor the best we can. Get all the grease and everything off of it before we reassemble it, so all that stuff doesn't get in our brake pads. Okay, I'm gonna put the brake caliper back on. Reverse order of the way we did it. Caliper bolts, which are here. I like blue Loctite caliper bolts. Okay, then our axle nut, washer and axle nut. Okay, our rear axle nut is 184 foot-pounds, or thereabout, because we want to get the cotter pin hole lined up. Line lines up exactly right there at 184. And we are good to go. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.